Hey everybody, it is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is called Care Less, Smile More, and Stamp Out Your Enemies. And enemies, if we're talking astrology, which we will for a moment here, enemies in the astrology chart are found in the 12th house or the 6th house, depending on who you're reading, who you're following, who you're studying from traditional astrological texts. But either house can tell you, and sometimes the 7th house too, with open enemies as well. But a lot of times, we know who our open enemies are. We know who opposes us, but a lot of times we don't know who our secret enemies are or what they're actually planning on doing. So we are going to go ahead, and I just wanted to mention a little bit about that because it's an interesting topic. But we can go ahead and get into your reading, and I have 3 piles to choose from. Pile number 1, which is the purple tea light, pile number 2, which is the black tea light, and pile number 3, which is the red tea light. So go ahead and take a deep breath. Okay, take a moment, clear your mind, open up your energy. What color are you feeling today? What color comes to you first when you close your eyes? What's coming near you? Is it purple? Is it black? Is it red? Maybe it's a color you wouldn't normally choose, okay? I'll have timestamps in the description box below for you as well. Actually, before I do that, I have 3 cards. I wrote down some notes on 3 of these cards, okay, and I'm going to randomly shuffle them up and deal them out to the individual piles, and they all have like little statements or little things on them that I wrote, okay? So let's go ahead and randomly, there we go. That's what I want. Okay. Alrighty, we are going to go ahead and get into it. I'm going to put the other piles aside, and you can actually listen to more than one pile if you feel like it. There may be more than one pile with a message for you. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get into it. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the purple tea light. Today's reading is called Care Less, Smile More, which is my motto for 2023. Care less about what everyone else is saying or doing. Mind your business. Smile more because you're caring less about what's happening around you that you don't need to pay attention to. And stamp out those enemies. All right. So let's go ahead. Ooh, flying cards already. Let's go ahead. Each pile got a pink little card dealt out here. All right, King of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So there's already a person here, somebody who could be very sensitive and also get hurt very easily at times. But let's go ahead and look. All right, 9 of Swords, it says on this card here. And this is talking about an exhausting waste of space in your mental energy. Subpar friends, lovers, and family members are an exhausting waste of space in your mental energy, okay? And the King of Cups in the tarot is a Pisces. So there may be a Pisces that is exhausting you right now, or maybe you're a Pisces and you are exhausted, okay? And also, we are in Pisces season, aren't we? Already, hard to believe. All right, pile number 1, let's go ahead and see. Let's get some information for you about caring less and smiling more. Oh, wow. The Knight of Swords. All right, so there's already people popping up in your reading. We have Pallas, Athena, and Think, okay? All right, and we have transits and climate. So a lot of mental energy, all right? The Knight of Swords in the tarot represents the airy part of air, and it's a little bit too much. And we see here a Pisces facing off with an Aquarius. The Knight of Swords in tarot represents Aquarius, so we could see that energy right away. There could be 2 people There could be a King of Cups or a Knight of Swords in your life that is like way too overwhelming, okay? Way too much. And lately you've just been thinking and trying to respond to this person and trying to, I feel like some of you have been trying to make this person budge or trying to make them see things your way, or trying to think of everything you can to like change someone's mind or to get them to commit to something, pile number one. And it's like they're not having it, they're not doing it. We have here mirroring, okay, mirroring each other, self-image, relationships reflect our wounds, and introspection. Okay, so we have Pallas Athena here with thinking about how mirrors, like, you know, and in a sense, it can be good to think about like how we've changed and how we've grown. And it can be good to think about how, like, you know, our behavior may be mirroring someone else, or there may be some projections going on. But I also feel like somebody here is very complicated emotionally, and they're very, like, they change their mind all the time. They're very complicated emotionally. They're hypersensitive to what you're saying. They're extremely challenging to deal with, okay? And I feel like it's exhausting. All right, it's really exhausting. And I can see here, it looks like, you know, like you're kind of folded in on yourself on this, looks like the throat chakra. It's like you're kind of folded in on the throat chakra. And it's like, I don't even know what to say to this person anymore. I've thought about it a million times. I've tried to say this, I've tried to appeal to that, I've tried to think of everything that I could say to this person to get this person to, you know, to do something, and to, like, you know, to make something happen, and it's just not happening, okay? So yeah, subpar friends, lovers, or family members are mentally exhausting, and they could be exhausting you, you know, like with pointless drivel, okay? The Knight of Swords could definitely engage in some pointless drivel, and too much talking, too much thinking, you know. And with the throat chakra here being folded in like that, it's like, it's lately. And because we have transits here, transits are representing in astrology, they're representing like what's happening transit wise, or what's happening in the sky right now, what planets are transiting what. And it's like, it might be that just lately with a couple certain people in your life, you're just like, I can't anymore. I've tried to say everything. I've tried to do everything. I've tried to make them look at themselves in the mirror. I've tried to like mirror them and to get them to feel more comfortable, to open up. I've tried to, you know, everything. I've tried everything under the sun to say to this person, and, you know, they just don't, they're just extremely exhausting, okay? We have Hand of Cards, okay? And this is where this Pallas Athena energy is coming in with the strategic thinking about things. And it's like, okay, what card should I play now? Now, the Knight of Swords can be very clever. You know, the Knight of Swords on a good day could be very clever, and very good with their words, and very like hard to pin down, but also very exciting and clever as well. So I feel like, you know, you, pile number one, like, you're thinking, you may be thinking, why is this person like holding all their cards next to their chest, and why are they not like talking to me, or why can't I get them? Why can't I never say the right thing to them? And you may be being very strategic, trying to weigh all your options, trying to think of what you should do, okay? Trying to take some time to like think of everything, you know. But I feel like pile number one, you may be focusing your thought patterns outward at this person instead of kind of turning the mirror in on yourself and like thinking about yourself. I feel like a lot of your mental energy and emotional energy has been directed outward. And there may be signs that you've been getting lately where it's like, yeah, I just, I need to spend some time. And you know, the Knight of Swords can definitely fly off the handle. That's another energy of the Knight of Swords. Like, and with Pallas Athena and the Knight of Swords, we really need to think before we speak. And we really need to like be strategic, okay? But if you're worried, if someone's hyper sensitive and you're always trying to, I feel like pile number one, you do a good job of thinking before you speak anyway. And it's like, no matter what you say to this person, or no matter how many clever ways or strategic ways or whatever, this person has a real issue with communication. And, you know, and I think it's making you have a lot of anxiety, or it's making you like get hyper vigilant, pile number one, when this person is just, you know, these people, there could be two people here, are just an exhausting waste of space in your mental energy. We have confidence here. So, you know, holding back and not, you know, I feel like here you guys have been holding back. You maybe have wanted to say something, or maybe you've wanted to, like, I feel like you've been afraid to speak up, okay? Because the atmosphere hasn't really been supportive of that, okay? But I feel like Spirit's saying, you know, have confidence in yourself and have confidence in what you're saying. If you feel like this person is making you second guess yourself, or making you run in circles with like a chicken with your head cut off while you're trying to figure out what's the right thing to say to them, I feel like Spirit is just saying, just say what you need to say with confidence and let the chips fall where they may, okay? At this point, all right? I feel like maybe you've been strategizing like a little bit too much and holding back on saying something because of this person's hypersensitivity, when Spirit's like, just go for it, you know, just say it. We have Hawk here. Okay, yeah, I mean, Spirit's saying take a 360-degree view of this situation. All of a sudden, I just went like this with my hands. Okay, take a 360-degree view of this situation. You're no dummy, pile number one. I feel like you're actually like quite intelligent. And I feel like somebody here could be like distorting your perception. And I feel like you guys could be trying to show someone like a mirror. I also feel somebody could be withholding their affection from you, and you're trying to show them, like, you know, with words and actions, and words and actions, and you're trying to think about what to say and what to do, the right thing, etc., etc. It's a little too much, you know, it's a little too much. And yeah, pile number one, I don't know why I just got a message about people acting like they don't expect much from you. And I don't know if this is from like childhood, or this is from school or situations, but I feel like sometimes you keep your cards close to your chest, pile number one, but when you have something to say, it comes out very powerfully, okay? And I think you learned at a young age, like how communication is so very powerful. And I just feel like if you're walking on eggshells, then in a situation and you feel like you're being backed into a corner anxiety wise, I feel like Spirit is saying, get a 360-degree view of this situation. Like have a very like keen perception of what's going on. And if you're getting too mired in the details, then and it's exhausting you, then pull back, okay? Pull back. And I feel like hawk is like very powerful predator in the air, okay? And, and some of you could have enemies that are like that too, that are like you feel are watching you, or you feel they will come out of the nowhere and accuse you of doing things that they're doing, like this type of thing, and they catch you off guard, and maybe in the moment you're not sure what to say, you need more time to think about it. I just feel like Spirit's saying communicate where you're at with total confidence, don't hold back. And if you can read, I feel like you guys can read situations very fast, pile number one. Like some of you may have strong air energy in your chart. You can read and pick up on things very quickly when you don't get into over analysis, or you don't let other people push you into over analysis. So pull back from the situation before you react or respond, and then respond with confidence, okay? And that'll upset your enemies. That will shake them. That will cause them, you may even find that they start like kissing your ass after that. You may even find that these people are backtracking and trying to like say something to try to get you to feel sweet on them again, or try to get you to come around again. But I feel like with the hawk, if you see something, you can't unsee it. It kind of is what it is. And with the Knight of Swords can have that kind of brutal honesty. And I feel like with this mirror here, when you really look in the mirror, pile number one, and if you can have like true brutal honesty with yourself and be confident in what you're saying outwardly, and just because, yeah, I feel like you don't need to think and strategize for 100 years on something, because it's a waste of your energy, okay? Just pick up with the rhythm, say it, be done with it. I said it, it's done, it's over. Like they can, and I feel like this person interprets how you say things differently, like depending on the mood and how the weather is, and they and so it's very hard to quote unquote win with this type of person. You know what I mean, pile number one? But sometimes you just have to say what you need to say immediately and effectively and confidently, and just be done with it. I'm all for rapid analysis, get the words out and be done. All right, now we have spiritual cleansing here. So we have hawk and spiritual cleansing. So if you find yourself having to, basically organize the Paris Peace Accord, or I don't know why I said the Paris Peace Accord. I don't know. East and West Germany reunification. If you find yourself having to, talk with someone on that type of level, like things shouldn't be so complicated that literally you have to settle the Israeli-Palestine conflict just in order to talk to someone, just in order to say what you need to say. Like it doesn't have, like, I don't know, if somebody's making you feel that you need to go in circles and, come up with, a 5,000 word essay, like, I just feel it's too much. I feel pile number one, it is way too much. Okay. And some people are just more trouble than they're worth at the end of the day. And yeah, so some of you here, that you have been feeling exhausted mentally. You have been feeling like pulled back in your energy. Maybe your voice has even been tired, or your voice has felt very strained. Sometimes we go through periods where we feel like our actual physical voice is kind of strained, or maybe we're having to like clear our throat a lot, or maybe our voice is very scratchy, or it just feels strained, okay? And yeah, or maybe some of you have been having a sore throat, or there's just something up, I feel. When you get around this particular person, there could be up to two people here, but especially this one person, I feel like when you get around this one person, it's like your throat closes up, and, and all of a sudden you get thrown into over analysis about yourself and everything. And it's like, yeah, like who cares about this, you know, hashtag who cares about this person. I'm over it. I'm sure you're over it, pile number one. Like I'm over their energy already. And Spirit's just saying, take the higher path with this hawk energy, okay? And if you feel yourself getting like drug into situations again, you know, turn around and leave, physically leave and go, fly away like a beautiful bird, okay? Leave the situation, get out of the situation, just go and, you know, retire to your chambers and, you know, perform a spiritual cleansing, all right? Because right now, what we don't need is more thinking. We need like communication with confidence, and we need like spiritual and emotional cleansing is what we need right now, okay? We have Saturn return and age, okay? So, and for some of you here, this may have been a problem, like I mentioned, when you were younger. Okay, I already kind of mentioned earlier in the reading how age could factor into this, but I feel as you guys get older, and maybe some of you here are going through your Saturn return, or you're at age 30. Here's Pallas Athena with number 30 on this card. So some of you could be at your solar return. Okay, also we have 55, so some of you could also be getting ready for your second Saturn return, all right? But both ages here indicate like, you know, because Saturn is a restriction of energy, but it's for the positive, right? It's like, I'm going to restrict my energy with certain people and I'm not going to waste my time, okay? Because my time is valuable and time is money, and I'm not going to waste my time. And, you know, certainly as we get older, like certain pissing matches are just really not as like, I don't know, they're just not as like, what's the word I'm thinking of? They're not as, you know, like when we're younger, getting into like, you know, dramas or long drawn out arguments, like the Knight of Swords can sometimes get into. When we get older, it's like, I'm just going to save my breath. Like, it's just a no for me. Okay. And I feel like, you know, with confidence, pile number one, it's time that you reject someone. Now, Saturn has to do with rejection too, but I feel like you're the one that is going to be doing the rejection, okay? And I just got a glimpse of a Three of Swords. My boyfriend did a Three of Swords painting, and I just looked out my like doorway and I saw a Three of Swords. So when I like randomly in my eye frame right now, but I feel like when you like open up your mouth and speak with confidence and stop over analyzing it and just say it and be done with it and recognize it for what it is, I feel like when you do that, pile number one, you just like, you know, you're gonna reject this person is what I feel. There may be up to 2 people that you're rejecting, but you're at the end of the day, you're the one that's gonna do the rejecting, I feel. Okay, because you're gonna say, I feel like at some point here, like I don't know, I'm not tap dancing around this vibe anymore. Like I'm just gonna, like, I don't know why I care so much, or I don't know why I'm thinking about this so much. I just am gonna move on, you know? And I love the purple on this card with this spiritual cleansing here. This is also card 50. And then the purple on the tea light here. Very nice. Some people may have just, and 50 is on this card too. So we have 2 50s and a 55. So we may have people in their 50s watching this reading, or that are close to that. We may have somebody that's 30. We may also have people that are like 30, but they feel like they're 50, or they've got a maturity, okay? And I feel like there are like enemies and people in your life that have brought out like, you may feel at times they brought out a sense of like immaturity in you, or brought you back to a time in your life that you didn't really want to think about, when people rejected you and you felt like you had to tap dance for your supper or whatever, you know? And I just feel like it isn't the case now, okay? Because if this person or these people don't like what you have to say, other people will. And I feel like Saturn is truth as well. So like you guys dropping the truth with confidence after you've seen what's going on and you've done this cleanse, I feel like just gets rid of gets rid of all your problems and gets rid of these subpar people. Now, they may end up feeling like very judged or, rejected because of what you say and do. But I feel like it's time, pile number one, I feel like it's time, my babies. Okay. So that is what I am going to give you today. And I hope that reading resonated for you. I hope you found it very empowering, and I hope you are able to reject and rebuke the haters, pile number one, okay? So thank you so much, my darlings, and have a good one. Let's move on to pile number two. Okay. Let's do it. Okay. Pile number two, welcome to your reading. You chose the black tea light, and today's reading is called Care Less, Smile More, Stamp Out the Haters and the Enemies. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get into your reading. Pile number two, I like that you chose the black tea light. Black resonates with the energy of Saturn. We talked about Saturn in the first pile. If you're a Saturn lover, maybe you want to listen to the first pile. We're Saturn lovers up in this reading, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. I feel like you guys are like blocking out certain energy. It's like, because it puts you in a really bad mood, or it puts you in a really dark mood, or it makes you feel like really down. So I feel like some of you could have gone ghost, or you could have just said, I'm not dealing with that, okay? Maybe you're already doing that. 9 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Like, your happiness is important, and we're talking about smiling more. And the 9 of Cups is the Lord of material happiness, and it represents Jupiter and Pisces. So it is about smiling less, or smiling more. It is about smiling more. And it is about caring less. It's like, I'm having a good time, and as long as I'm happy and having a good time, everybody else can, take 10 steps back up, back the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Pile number two. So let's go ahead. Each card I love the 9 of Cups too, because it looks like all the cups in the row just look like a big smile. Somebody here could have like a big toothy grin or a big smile, kind of like a Julia Roberts or a Steven Tyler or something like that. But pile number two, let's go ahead, and I just heard a big goofy grin or a big crooked grin, or maybe somebody here thinks they have a weird smile or like weird teeth or something. But pile number two, I like it. It's cute. Let's go ahead and see what we have here. We have Justice. Wow. Okay. So your guys' message here is justice. Like the card Justice in the tarot, justice represents Libra and talks about the balance of karma and the balance of action and reaction. And the message here is you don't owe them anything. They're only a big distraction and a huge time suck. Okay? And the note I have on here is sucker-free zone. Okay, so you live in a sucker-free zone, pile number two. You're not going to be anybody's sucker. And hashtag get the fuck on. Hashtag repaid karma. Okay, and then brutal scorekeeping. So there might have been somebody that was always thinking that you owed them something, or people going around acting like you owe them an explanation, or going around acting like you're going to do what you've always done, even though you just did it out of the kindness of your heart. But when people come to expect it over and over, or boss you around about it, or don't show any gratitude over it, it's going to be a big no. And justice comes in, by sword or by, scales, and basically says, like, this situation is even. Like if there was past karma, you know, in this lifetime or other lifetimes with you and these people or persons, then, you know, if there was past karma in the past, Spirit is saying consider it repaid. Like it's been repaid. There's nothing else that you need to do. You don't owe these people anything. And at this point, like spending your time like engaging in some brutal scorekeeping but with you and them, like, well, I did this for you, well, I did this for you, or, you know, who's the biggest martyr, or you know, who did whatever. Like it doesn't even matter at this point, because all the whole thing is a huge distraction. And I feel like Spirit is saying we need to balance the extremes in this connection or with these people, friends, family, whoever, lovers. We need to balance this energy now, because whatever needed to be done has already been done. And at this point, it's just a brutal like assessment of your time and what your time is worth and what it isn't worth. Okay. So I am getting work situations for some of you too, as well. And for people who've been generously like giving their time to others, or trying to help someone or teach someone something, or trying to help a friend, and now these people have come to expect it. They've come to expect that you'll be their little lap dog, or you'll be their little blood doll, or you'll be there at their beck and call. And Spirit is just saying, because the Nine of Cups is an energy of I need to relax. I need my me time. I need my time to chill. I need my time to relax. I need my time to have fun. Like, you know, and I also feel when you get around these people, you become very serious as well. Pile number 2. And I feel like you're kind of done with that and you really just want to loosen up and have a good time. But I also feel it's very hard to loosen up and have a good time around these people, because they're always doing some form of scorekeeping with you. And it's like, give it up already, you know? So let's go ahead and see. Let's go. It's exhausting, right? Pile number 2. Let's go ahead and see what's going on. We have the Hierophant here. Okay, we're about to drop some knowledge. The Hierophant in the tarot represents Taurus. Okay. And I mentioned Libra already here. So, and again, here's this energy of a teacher or a person or a mentor who has been helping someone or doing something for somebody else, and, you know, has just gotten like sick and tired of it, or is maybe sick and tired of always being the one to kind of like pile number 2. You may be sick and tired of always being the one to kind of hold it down. You know, the one with all the responsibility, the one who's carrying all the weight, the one who's like nurturing the foundation, the one who is always like, you know, creating, I was going to say creating a safe space for other people, which, you know, I mean, when we're in group situations, like people should take turns, you know what I mean? And it's very important to create a firm and stable foundation in whatever it is that's going on. And I feel like you guys may have spent a lot of time doing that in situations. And I feel like people have come to like expect it from you. And it's like, they better take direction from their own selves, or they better figure it out on their own, because it's not like it's not for you anymore. We have here the Sun. Yeah. I feel like it gets so boring too. Like, I feel like maybe sometimes you get into repetitive cycles with people, pile number 2, where you're always taking up the extra responsibility or the extra work or the extra slack. And it's like, no, it's time to have fun now. It's time to relax. It's time for a vacation. It's time to, you know, and I feel like some of these people are just very repetitive, and they may ask you to do really repetitive things all the time. Some of you may have a boss or a coworker or somebody that's just asking you to do repetitive things all the time. And it's like, you know, screw off. I don't know. Like, you guys are just like, I need my time. Like, I need time to myself to be creative. And, you know, I feel like you guys are saying I don't need like pedantic people around me who are trying to tell me to be exactly like them. Like, I don't owe these people anything. I am going to be myself, okay? And some of you may be like really surprising some people in your life as well, because where in the past you were willing to sit back and like work in the background and like basically let other people take the credit for what you were doing, I feel like these days it's like, no, you know, if I'm doing the work, I better like, you know, I better get the glory, the sun, okay? I need the recognition. I need like, you know, and I feel like a big light is coming to be shown on a situation here that has been very unfair to you. We have clarify here. Yeah, so clarifying, I feel like it's been really important for you guys to clarify what you want, because I feel like sometimes you do get stuck in those repetitive patterns and like doing things or helping people. And so Spirit is saying, you know, don't bury yourself in that. And definitely like, and black too is, you know, black's a great color, but also it's kind of like blocking out the sun. It's kind of like, you know, when the night comes, or, you know, we have a solar eclipse or something like that, okay? Anyway, like, I just feel like it's time for things to be shown for what they are with the sun and solar calm and clarify. Okay, so people's roles need to be clarified. People's duties need to be clarified. People's, like, it needs to be clarified. And pile number 2, if you've already clarified this to someone and said what you want, I feel like if they pretend like they didn't know, or they didn't see it, or they didn't hear you, I feel like at this point, it's like on them. If the ball gets dropped, it's on them, okay? So we have here date. Wow. Okay, so some of you, you may be trying to date a Taurus, or there may be a Libra or a Taurus or someone that you're trying to date. So we have here getting out, letting yourself shine, and maybe you guys were in a long-term relationship before pile number 1 or pile number 2, or you were married, or you were in a long-term union with someone. Okay, the Hierophant representing that type of, you know, long-term union. And maybe you were holding yourself back because of a commitment, or because you felt like, well, I shouldn't do that yet. Maybe some of you are in the middle of a breakup or a divorce or a long-term separation, and you've been holding yourself back. And I feel like some of you are ready to date. And I feel like it's like, whatever you want to wear on your date, or however it is that you want to act, or however it is that you want to be, is up to you. So if you've been going out on dates with people and they're trying to, you know, they're trying to be controlling, because the Hierophant can be controlling. They're trying to be controlling, or they're telling you what they like, hoping that you're going to become what they like and want. I just feel like Spirit is saying you don't owe these people anything. You don't owe, if people have certain expectations of how you should be in any situation, at work, on a date, whatever, all you have to do is show up and be yourself, pile number 2, and let the chips fall where they may, okay? We have here heartbroken. Oh, pile number 2, if you've just been waiting because you were going out with someone and you were waiting for them to commit, or you were waiting for them to get back to you. Maybe they were supposed to call you back, or you thought they had planned or scheduled a second date. Or you thought, oh, me and this person are definitely going to go out again. We had an awesome date and they made it seem like, you know, we should hang out and talk more. Okay, I feel like if you've been waiting, you're like, well, I'm not going to go talk to anyone else because, you know, this person may get back to me. And I feel you're a very like faithful person, pile number 2, or you're a very loyal person. And so you don't like to, you know, like, if you make a promise to someone, I feel like you don't really want to break it, or you feel like, okay, if I go like meet another person or go out on a date or go flirt or whatever, I'm like doing something wrong, or I shouldn't be doing that because this person could get back to me. Okay, but it's up to this person. I feel it says set a date, make a plan. Okay, and if this person can't set a date or make a plan, and you're real upset because they won't do that or they can't do that, then I feel like, Spirit's saying you don't owe this person anything in matters of love, in matters of the heart, in matters of loyalty and devotion. I feel like Spirit's saying no, like clarify what it is that you want with this sun, and clarify like what it is that you want, and don't be afraid to, and some of you may be saying, well, I'm holding myself back because I'm waiting to see what happens in this situation. But you may kind of also be doing it out of fear because you don't really want to put yourself out there, or you may kind of be you may be telling yourself it's out of loyalty, or maybe they'll call, but the real reason may be because of fear, or because of like putting yourself out there and opening yourself up, like let yourself be seen with the sun, right? And like opening yourself up again. And it's like, no, with the black tea light, I don't want to. I just want to hide in the shadows. I just want to wait. I'm just like in the dark, like waiting for this situation to see what happens. And Spirit's like, no, 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 no. Like, life is short. There's no reason for you like not to be having fun now. Okay. And if you're like, well, I feel like that wouldn't be responsible, right? Because as I talked about, you always feeling like you need to be the responsible one. Like, maybe it's not a good time. Maybe I need to be the responsible one. And it's like, yeah, you can still be the responsible one in your life, pile number 2, and still have a good time, and still let your light shine, and still like meet new people, and granted, like if you're heartbroken and you need more time, I get it, take the time you need. But I also feel like you don't owe this person anything. Like justice has spoken. Like, it says here, you do not owe them anything. They are only a big distraction and a huge time suck. So waiting around for this person, in a tit for tat type of a situation is just not for you, and with this situation, because I feel like, sometimes in life, there's times when we're supposed to be contracted and in our little cave and going through our mourning and grieving. But I also feel like Spirit is saying, for those of you where this was just a thing and you were just kind of dating this person a little bit and it wasn't some big serious thing that you have to get over, like I feel like Spirit's patting you on the butt and saying, get back out there, get back out there. If you had a coach, they would swat you on your behind and say, get back out there, right? Like get off the bench and get back out there. I love it, pile number 2. I love it when I get sports metaphors. Oh, yay. But anyway, it's like, put me in, coach, right? And I feel like Spirit is saying it's time for you guys to say, I'm putting myself in, like I'm clarifying what I want. I'm picking myself up, dusting myself off. I'm clarifying what I want, and I'm asking the coach to put me back in the game. So I like it, pile number 2. I like it. We have stop here. Okay, so, and I feel like what it might have stopped you is like clarifying what it is that you want, okay? And, because you're waiting and you've been hurt, you've been sad. Maybe some of you have been going through a breakup. You've been feeling lost, perhaps a separation. And maybe it's just been hard to get back to yourself and to clarify exactly what you want going forward. And I don't know, pile number 2, it's very interesting. Some of you could be a little bit afraid of forming a deeper connection with someone. And some of you at times may hold yourself back from forming like a deeper, like third eye spiritual psychic connection with someone, because like how deep it goes for you and you're not wanting to go there. All right. And some of you may be seeking out tarot readings or seeking out tarot readers in general, getting readings, watching a ton of readings to get clarity on this situation, because you feel like your intuition is off about this, or you feel like you need to know the answer. And I feel like Spirit is saying the card here is justice. Like when we see justice, because that's what's on this card here that I wrote out, justice, okay? When we see justice, like all cards are on the table. Like there's nothing left to reveal. This is what it is, you know? And there's no more readings to consult. There's no more like, oh, you know, I'll do one tarot reading today and then another one tomorrow and whatever. I feel like Spirit's saying if you're trying to like intuitively like determine what's going on with this situation or going to readers, I just feel like this is the reading where I'm telling you like there's no need to do that anymore. Like maybe there wasn't any reading to do that. I mean, maybe for those of you that were in a very, very deep, long-term committed thing where it really had your heart, I get it. You know, I get seeking clarity and wanting clarity, but I feel like you have the clarity that you need based on this person's actions and based on, you know, what's happened, okay? And the way that this situation has made you feel and the way it's made you like want to shy away from putting yourself out there. And it's probably like sucked some of your self-confidence out of you too. Okay. And I feel like Spirit is saying, you know, you don't really need any more clarity on the situation. Like the proof is in the pudding, and you don't really need to like hold yourself back anymore. Okay. And maybe it is time to stop seeking, you know, so much clarity on this situation because the writing's on the wall, and just, you know, try to define what it is that you want when you're ready and get yourself back out there, okay? And we have Scorpion, the sting of a scorpion. Okay, now and I'm not trying to downplay what this person did to you, pile number 2. I just want you to know that, because it could have been a very like stinging betrayal. It could have been very painful. It could have been like very mean, okay, and very like disheartening and very brutally mean, all right? And when I talked about brutal scorekeeping, here we go now, okay? And something brutal about what's been going on in your love life, pile number 2, that has been extremely epic. It's like the deeper I go with this person and the more that I commit into this situation, the more it hurts me, the more it stings, the more it like becomes a very lower manifestation of fear and pain. Now, you know, I mean, we all experience fear and pain in our lives. We all experience anger, fear, and pain, and there's nothing wrong. Like if you have been feeling that, you're not bad for feeling that. And I feel like some of you may want revenge, or maybe it's like, I still have bad feelings. I don't know what to do. Or maybe you feel like, you know, this person deserves to be paid back karma for what they did to you. And I get that, pile number 2, but sometimes when something hurts us so deeply, like we have to give it over to Spirit, and we have to just say like, and you know, there's some relationships in my life, not really romantic ones, but other type of ones, where I was deeply betrayed and burned too. I get it, pile number 2. And you know, at some point I just said, you know what? There's that whole thing on TikTok where it's like, I'm going to let God fix it, because if I fix it, I'm not go to jail, you know? So I get it. If you feel like that, and that's where it's time to say, like, and that's why I have repaid karma on here, because I do feel like this person is going to be repaid their karma, but it's not really any of our business, and it's not really, and I don't really want it to be our business, pile number 2. Honestly, like I want to wipe this person off the face of existence in your life and in mine. as I am reading this person right now. You know, I'd like to just take an eraser and take their little face on the map and erase it off, because it's like, okay, you're irrelevant. And at this point, I just, for you, pile number 2, you know, I'm not trying to force you to do anything here, my loves, but I'm getting like, you know, this is fixed energy when we have Taurus and Scorpio, okay, with the Hierophant, the Scorpion, Taurus and Scorpio, fixed energy, okay? And this energy can be about possession and holding on to things, and like clinging on to things and holding on to things out of fear of letting go. And they're very much like, and there can be a lot of jealousy and control issues when we have these two types of energies going on, even if you're not a Taurus or a Scorpio. But these two energies are opposite signs. They do understand each other, but there is a lot of like fixed, I'm not letting go, and you know, something else needs to come of this situation. But I feel like Spirit's saying, come out of the cave, okay, and realize that this person's gonna be dealt with, okay? And it might not be me that deals with them. It might not be you that deals with them. It might not be, you know, who knows? It may be Hecate herself that deals with this person. I don't know. It may be, you know, I don't know. It may be a huge whale that comes and swallows them, like Jonah and the whale. It may be a huge lion that hunts them down in the jungle in their dreams and, you know, devours their face. I don't know, pile number 2. I'm just riffing, okay? But at this point, I would consider, like, you know, we don't need to stumble down that dark hallway anymore. Like, they can go in their own dark hallway and stumble in their own well and just lie there forever. Because for you, what I want you to do, pile number 2, is move forward, okay? And this situation may be stopping you from moving forward or making you feel like you can't move forward. And I get it. If you're feeling a lot of anger and resentment about a situation, one of the best medicines to kind of get the poison out of the stinger is to like do some physical activity if you can. You know, I know not everyone can do physical activity, but sometimes, you know, I go and I sweat it out in the sauna, or I go on like a really massive power walk, or I go to a spin class and just, you know, just leave it all on the floor. Like whatever it is, I feel like you guys do need a release and an outlet, and you can't just hold everything in. Something needs to come out, and I feel almost like it's like a primal scream that needs to come out here, and that's okay. If you need to have a primal scream, you know, turn off this reading and scream away. I'll do it with you, pile number 2. But at the end of the day, like, you know, the pain of this situation may be stopping you from enjoying your life the way that you really want to, okay? And I get processing pain, but I also think it may be getting time where it's time to kind of open yourself up again to life, okay? To let new life kind of like shine in, all right? And we have here boundaries. Oh my goodness. Wow. Fierce. I love it. And I just got chills. Justice is also very fierce as well. And if you need to lay down the boundaries, and it is all about elegantly, quickly, and even like superficially. And when I say superficial, I don't mean like, you know, doing stuff you don't say or mean. I mean just superficially dealing with this person in a way where you're just like, yeah, sorry, I don't have time, and you walk away. Like, you know, you don't have to get in deep. You know, you don't have to go crawl in deep with this person and get into all this old stuff, okay? Or get into all, like, what I'm saying is it is time to show some teeth. And if you look at this cat here, that's funny. I talked about a lion eating their face off in the jungle. I mean, and now we have a huge cat with its fangs, okay? So I feel like your guides are highly protective of you right now, pile number 2. And a lot of times when you're going through heartbreak type of energy, it helps to surround yourself with that like very primal, like big cat type of energy. And some of you may really resonate with that. You can see my tattoo on my hand is a jaguar, and you know, I resonate with that energy. But it is about protection, it is about safety, and it is about laying down the law. with justice, okay? It's about laying down the law and laying down the boundaries that you need that are healthy for you so that you can kick this situation in the crotch and move on. You know what I'm saying, pile number 2? I hope you feel like so much better after this reading. Like, I am ready. And it's almost like, you know, your guides are saying, like, it doesn't matter what this person does and how they try to drag you back in or how they try to tempt you back into reaction. At the end of the day, like, steel boundaries and having like really steely boundaries around this situation is what ultimately is going to serve you the most. And there is an elegant way that justice just slices through a situation and right down the middle of it and says, you go your way, I'll go mine. I don't ever want to see you again. Okay? Just like that. All right, pile number 2. Ooh, look at this. Venus and love. Oh my gosh, your guys' reading is really powerful. I love it, pile number 2. I love to see it. And we have Stomp, and then we have Venus and love here. So this situation, and like psychically getting drug into it, may be holding you back from like dating or finding new love or like waiting for something to happen in this situation, okay? So Spirit is just saying, you know, don't wait to find things in your life that you love too. Because Venus just isn't about partnership. It's also about the things that we do for ourselves to show ourselves that we love ourselves, okay? And like psychically, like obsessing about situations or needing clarification after clarification when you know that you know the writing's on the wall and you know what's up, because I know you know, pile number 2. Like, I just feel like Spirit is saying at this point, like the true medicine for you is actually love and self-care. It's being gentle with yourself. It's, you know, here's what gets to happen, right? Like, you get to have steely boundaries in this situation and show an elegant display of fierce control, okay? And just like justice with that sword slicing right through, okay? And keeping it totally cool and cold and separate. And then on the other side of that, you get to thrive, you get to heal, you get to open up your heart again, you get to take better care of yourself, both mentally and emotionally. You get to let yourself, like Venus, like flowers in the springtime, you know, you get to like let yourself be loved again, you know, because it's not just like, sometimes people have a hard time with other people loving them. You know, they can give a lot of love to other people, but sometimes it's just equally as hard to like be loved and to allow ourselves to like be loved by people that like truly want to see the best in us, okay? And I feel like with the 9 of Cups here, Spirit is saying like the time is ripe. The time is like getting to this place where, and for those of you that have erected like very steely boundaries and you've been working on this and you've been working on the self-trust and you've been working on the self-care and you've been working on like gradually opening up like the petals of a rose, you know, like blooming and opening, like just very gradually and subtly, nothing too fast, nothing too, you know, much. But for those of you that have been trying to do that, I feel like you're doing the right thing. And, you know, you guys, my pile number 2s, you're going to shine like a diamond, okay? As Rihanna would say, shine bright like a diamond, okay? And Venus is the brightest shining object in the sky, okay? She looks like a brilliant, beautiful diamond in the sky. And that's just what I want you guys to know about yourselves too. So don't stop yourself from allowing yourself to be loved by somebody really great. And we can put this behind us, pile number 2, and we can move forward, okay? So that is what I am getting for you, my dears. What a reading. I haven't had a reading like that for a while, but clearly it needed to come through. So I'd love to hear any feedback or comments that you have. Thank you so much, pile number 2, and talk to you later. let's move on to pile number 3. Let's do it. Okay. Alrighty. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the red tea light, and today's reading is called Care Less, Smile More. And don't forget to stamp out the haters, okay? Because we certainly want to be doing that as well. We're rejecting and rebuking the haters in this reading, pile number 3. So let's go ahead and get after it. Each pile got a little pink card here with a little message on it that I pre-wrote before the reading, okay? So let's go ahead. The first 2 readings have been a lot of really interesting and a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and get into it, my darling. Ooh, the devil. Wow. Okay, well, that certainly sends a message, doesn't it? So let's talk about it, pile number 3. We've got the devil on the bottom of the deck. The devil's in the details. Let's go ahead and see. All right. Ooh, damn, pile number 3. Okay, so here is your message. They truly don't understand you or your motives. It's not your responsibility to force their understanding about you or to force that understanding on them. And you're dealing with people with truly outdated concepts and people who refuse to, like, they cling on to old ideas. They refuse to change, and they're very unoriginal, okay? These people lack originality and they lack courage. They would rather stay right where they are in the hell that they're in, or they would rather stay in their, like small-mindedness than truly try to understand how someone could be different than them and truly understand other people's motives. And I hate to say it, pile number 3, but actually I don't hate to say it. I actually love to say it because I'm going to take some shots at this people or persons in this reading, is I don't think this person's very intelligent, or these people. For some of you, I'm getting family members here. For some of you, I'm getting friends, like 2 catty bitchy friends. Whatever the situation is, these people, okay, there could be up to 3 people in this situation. I really feel they truly don't understand. They assume the worst about you. They may judge you a lot. And it's not, the thing is I don't think these people's opinions are going to change at all. They very much lack originality and they're just very average. Okay, and I don't really think that they're going to ever really see your point of view or understand you in the way that you have shown to understand them. And pile number 3, you could have gone out of your way to try to understand them and to try to have an open mind towards them. But I also feel like these people have things wrong with them. They have complexes and issues and psychological complexes that maybe you don't even comprehend as well, because or you don't fully understand the depth of their psychological complexes and how much they actually suffer because of their shitty beliefs, okay? But it's not up to you. Like, you're not on this planet to basically receive all of that for them and then help them become the person that they are. I mean, we're not over here running a 501c3 for idiots. We're not running a charity for, people that can't take their own heads out of their own butts. You know what I'm saying? Pile number 3, we're not here to do that. And, with the devil showing up as Saturn, it is about, and Saturn is showing up about in all these piles. Actually, it's very interesting how Saturn's come up in all the piles, but it truly is like this energy of saying these people are very held back in their psyches and in their emotional development. They may have a very low emotional IQ as well. They may truly not get it. They may not really understand why, what, where, why, when. And I'm just afraid that, I'm not afraid, but I'm just saying, I'm afraid that we're going to have to leave them in the corner with their dunce hat on and make them stare at the wall while you walk away. Okay, pile number 3, just I'm afraid that's what's going to happen here, because I think these people they don't know what they don't know. You know what I'm saying? And in that kind of a situation, like you can't take an average person and make them unaverage. And I'm also getting work situations for some of you here too. And I don't know why I just got something about fame, or maybe these people are very superficial and they respect like fame or things like that, but they don't, I don't know. I just feel like they respect or appreciate very superficial things or the wrong things. They may appreciate like money and success, but completely lack originality and lack courage and are just completely average. So, I don't know what to say, pile number 3. Like, they just don't get it. You can send them this video. But anyway, I mean, I don't know if you want to waste your time. I also have on here, this is an A and B conversation, and you can see your way out of it. So there may be a conversation that you were in with someone and somebody butted in with their dumb opinion that doesn't matter. Like, thank you for your pointless point. I don't care. It doesn't, and it can happen in meetings. It can happen in social situations with friends or with family, etc. But it's like you could be having a nice conversation with another person and somebody butts in with it with some unsolicited advice that just reeks of sanctimonious crap, of sanctimonious cow dung, all right? And you're just like, hey, this is an A and B conversation. You can see your way out of it, all right? And the tarot card associated that I have here is Strength reversed for this situation, for the Strength card, but reversed is what I have written on here. And the Strength card reversed in the tarot is the devil. I mean, essentially, it's letting our lower natures dominate over us, coming from a place of, total lack of courage and total fear of people that are not exactly like us. And like I said, these could be very small-minded people that are just extremely clueless of the effect that they're, having on you or other people, okay? I also just want you to say, maybe you need to say this, but I also just want to say, pile number 3, these clueless people have no say in your life, okay? And as much as they want to like butt into things, as much as they are chatty Cathys or gossipy whoever's, like, it doesn't really, at the end of the day, these clueless people have no say in your life. And so I really don't think you need to waste your time. All right, but let's go ahead and see. And you guys may know, I know that this video is called Stamp Out Your Enemies as well. You guys may be like, I know, like this person doesn't like me and I can tell, and they find me threatening and they find that I'm a threat or they're jealous, okay? So pile number 3, you may already know this, and for some of you too, this may be the ex of a partner of yours, or this may have to do, because I'm also getting that energy of like a third person who knows you through someone else. So that could be like an extended family member. It could be like an ex's, this could be like your current person's ex or this person's ex, okay? But I'm just getting this energy, and I feel like this person's opinion and ideas are just lame and they're not needed, So let's go ahead, pile number 3. I wouldn't let it affect you. It's more like just an annoying, like fly that you just like take a book and smash and then smear it off your windshield and then, use a little elbow grease to get the guts off your windshield and then just say good as new and move on, Anyway, let's get on with it, pile number 3. Who said tarot readers are all nice? We're not all nice. Some of us are, a little mean. Oh, I love that the Fool's underneath there, okay? Because I feel like, and there's the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords. So about the two people talking, right? It's an A and B conversation. See your way out of it. Starting an entirely new conversation. Maybe some of you are starting a new like conversation or a new group thread of a conversation or something like that. But I also just feel like this person could be acting dumb like a fox or acting very naive when they know what they're doing. They may be trying to pitch you against somebody else and then acting like they don't know, okay? But it's like, I feel you and this person, you guys are going to talk and you're going to know what's going on. So we have here the 10 of Pentacles. Nobody needs to come and disturb the happy home. You know what I'm saying? We have Mercury and messages. Yeah. Somebody with a lot of opinions about the way that you're living your life, okay? And has a lot to say, like aggressively, I feel aggressive communications, gossiping, etc., about the way that you're living your life. And I feel pile number 3, like, you've worked really hard with this 10 of Pentacles to get to where you are today. And, you may have done it in some like different ways, or you may have gone about it in a different way or in a different path. But I also feel like you've come to where you are because of your hard work, discipline, and effort. And, and maybe you need to be reminded of that, pile number 3, sometimes, that the life that you're building is right for you. It may not be right for other people, but if you're happy with it and you're good with it, then who cares what the other people are saying, okay? We have here debilitated and discomfort. Okay, I also feel some of you could have been at an event or at somebody's house or at a housewarming party or some type of party with friends or some type of gathering at somebody's house or at a park, or maybe it was a baby shower, just one of those kinds of events. I feel pile number 3. And somebody like could have invited you into their home and then you heard them talking about you, or they heard and you felt uncomfortable, okay? I also feel there's a lot of immaturity going on. And I feel like you're a very strong communicator. The 10 of Pentacles represents Mercury and Virgo. And it is the Lord of Wealth. And Mercury and Virgo, Mercury is in domicile in Virgo, okay? So Mercury loves to be in Virgo. And I feel like you're a very solid, strong communicator, pile number 3. And there's no reason anyone, like, I feel the effort you put in, the work you do, the person that you are, like, it speaks for yourself. And I also feel somebody could have been talking crap about your house, or talking crap about your living situation, or talking crap about your family. I just feel somebody's been talking crap, pile number 3, okay? Somebody who has a very debilitated Mercury. Mercury's debilitated in Pisces. If you have Mercury in Pisces, it doesn't mean, you're a bad person or a bad communicator. But what I'm saying is somebody who doesn't know how to converse with people or chat with people without getting catty, bitchy, rude, mean, okay? I also feel like this person may say things around you intentionally to rile you up. And just like I said on the card here, this is an A and B conversation and you can see your way out of it, okay? And some of you may need to be like very direct in a conversation, or you may need to just like, if you're talking to someone else, pull that person away. If you two are having a conversation, and just walk away from that person and leave them there with the discomfort, because I feel like they're trying to cause discomfort and for you guys, okay, pile number 3, by what they're saying, and they're trying to get a reaction from you. So I feel you guys are going to be as cool as a cucumber. You're not going to react to it, and you're just going to get on with your day. And I feel, with the 10 of Pentacles, you guys could be very busy. You could have a lot going on. Some of you here, you may be doing quite well for yourselves. You may have just got a new home. You may have maybe you got a new car. Maybe you got something nice. And other people, there's some people around you who are being straight up salty, who are being extremely negative about your success and have jealousies or have weirdness around that. And it's just really immature. It's like, how old are you? Are you like 14 years old or what? We have 14 on this card here. And it's like, there's 14, and not to make fun of 14-year-olds, you know, but I mean, the 10 of Pentacles is showing adults talking, you know, it's like, who invited the child to the party, right? And I don't mean actual child. I mean, who invited this metaphorical child who just interrupts people all the time, who makes all conversations uncomfortable, who constantly is a huge pain in the ass? Like, who invited this loser to, you know what I mean? Anyway, I feel pile number 3. It's like, yeah. And there may be somebody that it's like, at this point, you're like, yeah, I'm just not going to like invite this person anymore. And they may have things to say about your kids or how you're raising your kids or what you got going on. And it's like, you know, and maybe you guys are doing, I would just be careful, pile number 3, of who you're sharing your business with and of oversharing information with people who have literally no ability to process it because they have, like, you know, the IQ of an amoeba. All right. Like, I would just, like, you know, choose carefully what you're saying. If you do have to be around certain people, for some of you, I'm getting like an in-law vibe as well. Like, you may have in-laws that are like this or family members that are like this, but I would just, you know, people act weird when they're jealous or when they feel threatened. So, you know, here we go. We have the Phoenix, a new phase, renew, transformation, growth, and a changed mind. Okay. So it's like, yeah, I don't need this. And I feel like you guys have come, you know, started from the bottom. Now we're here. Okay. It's like, you didn't just get to where you are today by just sitting around and picking your nose. Okay. And I just feel like people don't really understand the journey that you've been on, pile number 3, or just how much it's taken for you to get to where you are. And some of you may have needed to do, like, the Phoenix is talking about that underworld scorpionic energy. Some of you may have had to hustle or do different types of jobs that maybe other people wouldn't understand or whatever it is. But I feel like in order to build a safety net for yourself, some of you have really had to, like, you know, like, be a mover and a shaker and do things that other people wouldn't necessarily do. Okay. And that's always going to cause people with less courage and less moxie and less intelligence to want to say something. And I'm sorry, like, what do they want? You know, like, they want you to take a step down to their level, or they literally want to take your brain and implant it in theirs. It's not going to happen. Get over it, you know? I don't know. I also was kind of feeling this too with the Devil card. We have addiction here. So some of you here, you may have started from a very hard place yourself. Some of you in pile number 3, you may have struggled with addiction yourself. And I feel like with this Mercury message card, you may have, like, wanted to talk about it, or you may have wanted to tell your story. And I feel like some people, they just can't, like, they talk to you. For those of my recovering addicts in pile number 3, I feel like some of you could have family members or extended people around you, whoever it may be, that talk to you like you're still the person that you were in the past. Okay. And that, like, always bring old shit from the past up. And they may bring it up in front of your significant other or in front of your children, or, you know, just a very, like, you know, mean, attacking type of an energy. Like, you know, just because you've done better for yourself, or you've readjusted your crown, whatever you've done here, pile number 3, I feel like there are just, like, some people that just talk to you, and they may make conversations very uncomfortable. You may have a couple friends that do this too, where you're talking to new people or you're getting to know new people, and they just bring up some really embarrassing shit, or they just bring up some really mean things in front of new people. And the energy that I'm getting is like this person or these people trying to embarrass you. okay? Or trying to like make you feel shame about your past and what you've gone through. And I just have to say, pile number 3, this is a very ugly energy. And, you know, the other piles definitely had enemies in them, definitely had things in them. But I kind of feel like your situation is a real serious issue. I'm not saying the other piles didn't have serious issues, but I really feel there is a serious issue that's been playing out. And for some of you, this could be like family of origin issues as well too, where people are spreading rumors about you, they're spreading lies about you, they kick you while you're down, people not having with the devil, not having any respect for you or talking to you in a very disrespectful manner, pile number 3. And I truly think like you definitely need to remember how far you've come in your life, like how much ingenuity and strength to come from a place of feeling not good enough or feeling debilitated. And I feel like some of you with this card 14, like, you know, problems and things may have started for you when you were a teenager, or problems with the way that people talk to you or relate to you may have started when you were a teenager. Some of you may feel like you're like the black sheep of the family, or the scapegoat of the family, or I don't really like the word black sheep, but you know what I mean, like the scapegoat of the family, or people just constantly like picking on you and making you feel really down about yourself. Pile number 3, this is a very tough thing that I feel you've been through. And I feel like every day, I just want you to know how successful you are. Like every day with the 10 of Pentacles, you're bringing a sense of realness and stability and reaching out of the hole that you were in to find a better, more stable, more productive, more fruitful life for yourself, okay? And there are some people that are just trapped in the olden days, you know, and they don't really see how people can evolve, you know. And truth be told, there's not a lot of people that can truly evolve like in big deep ways. But with the Phoenix here, I feel like you have done this, pile number 3. Like you have evolved from a very you know, troubling, very maybe even toxic, maybe disappointing, frustrating, earlier life cycle of the way that you looked at yourself and the way that you thought about yourself, and you've pulled yourself from the wreckage, and you've had a new life. It's like you have a new life. It's like you have a second chance at life, a third chance, a fourth chance. And I feel like, you know, your transformation is beautiful, it's wonderful, it's strong. I mean, yeah, there's a song from back in the day that says, everyone will just stare with jealousy if you're like a phoenix and you dare to rise from the ashes, okay? 1,000 eyes will just follow you with jealousy, all right? If you dare to rise from the ashes. And I just, you know, it takes audacity, honestly. It does, you know, to come from that and put your best foot forward. So pile number 3, I just want to tell you, like, you know, hey, I'm proud of you, okay? We have anxiety here. So again, when you're around these people, they may make you feel like you're 14 again, or some of you may have decided to get clean at 20 years old, or, you know, maybe you were knee deep in some difficult behavior patterns in your 20s, but whatever it is, I feel like being around these people is giving you a lot of discomfort and anxiety, and they're doing it on purpose. And pile number 3, you know, sometimes when I see, it's not all the time, but sometimes when I see issues like with addiction and families, and there's deep rooted issues with shame and addiction, not all the time, but some of the time, it's because there are truly, like, you know, because there's narcissists in that family, and when you have a family that is like scapegoating someone, that is a very, you know, narcissistic type of a thing to do. And I feel like, when you go around this person and they question you or talk to you or get on your case, it may bring you quite a bit of anxiety and discomfort as you are trying to, rise from the ashes and build your own life. And, you guys may need to, I feel like you're definitely going to have to either stand up for yourself in a very strong, determined manner, in a very unemotional manner, because I feel like if you react with emotion, these people take it and they're like, haha, I won. I got an emotional reaction out of you, because they're just disgusting pigs. But at the same time, I feel like you're probably going to have to tell these people, and maybe you already have, but telling them, I need you to back off, and I need you to get out of my life, And there may need to be a very honest conversation that's not even very emotional, but it's just very factual, where you say I need a break from this, connection or this relationship. It's just not working for me right now. And pile number 3, if it's threatening, talking to these people and being around them is threatening you in any way, or threatening to draw you back into a darker place, or a place where you're second guessing yourself, I feel like, the positive thing to do is to get away from them. And you may be standing on your own for a while, but at the end of the day, what you're building is long lasting, and you're gonna have people who join you in that. And beautiful people, whether it's in relationships and friendship, people who are replacement family members, fuck those other people, you know what I mean? People who are actually on the same page as you, and people who actually get you and are supporting what you're doing, okay? So, I do feel with the 10 of Pentacles, there are actual resources and people that want to support you. And so definitely don't write certain people off that are actually good, because I feel like they do care and they do support you. But I do feel like there's at least 2 people here who are very not good for you. We have here Turtle. Yeah, it doesn't matter how long it takes. And we see the determination going from the Turtle to the Phoenix, right? And turtles are very ancient. Pile number 3, you're a super old soul, okay? And you have been under the thumb of Saturn before, I have a feeling. All the old souls of the world unite. But I feel slow and steady wins the race. And there's so much, ancient history that's held within a soul like you, okay? And I do feel you are very loyal, and you may be very loyal to your ancestors and things like that. Or maybe there was a point in your life where you couldn't have imagined leaving certain people, but I feel you guys are bye-bye, I'm swimming away now, I'm leaving, I'm going, bye-bye. And it doesn't have to be some dramatic thing, because I really feel dramatics is not what you need right now. You being super dramatic, other people, it's just not needed. I feel if you do need to get away from these people, just slip out and leave, and you don't do an Irish goodbye, which means basically don't even say goodbye. Just do a little sneak out the back door and leave, and bye, and then take whatever else energy and put it into what you're trying to build in your life, okay? Because I feel you're a very enduring soul, pile number 3, and you have a lot of tenacity. You have both tenacity and audacity within you, and you're gonna be just fine, okay? You're gonna be just fine. We have Shadow here. Yeah, again, these people loving to poke the sleeping the bear, they love to do that with you. These people are real enemies, sometimes people break our heart, and they did it on purpose, and they lied and they betrayed us, Okay, but I feel you guys have some very deep connections with people, or like family members or friends or people that you've known for a very, very long time. Deep connections that run very, very deep and long, where you're coming to understand that these people are enemies. And that is a very, like, that's a very intense thing, pile number 3. And my heart goes out to you in that. And I've been there myself too, so I know how it is. But I just feel like, you're coming to realize with Mercury here, like you're seeing the shadow side of these people that maybe you thought once wanted the best for you. I mean, some people like it when we're down because it takes the attention off of them and makes it on you. Like, nobody wants to be the scapegoat, right? Here we have shadow, scapegoat, right? Nobody really wants to be like people. I don't really want to be that, right? They'll do anything to avoid being that. But with these people, they're such bad enemies that they would literally put you in front of the firing squad so that their bitch asses don't have to take the resounding fire that's coming for them. Because I feel like when you're out of the equation, other people are going to become what you are. There's always, when you're dealing with these dynamics, there always is that scapegoat. And at some point, you just have to not take it personally and move on with building your life, because they're always going to find someone that they need to demonize. Okay, devil energy, shadow. They're always going to find somebody, pile number 3, whether it's you or the person down the street or whoever the fuck it is, they're always going to find someone. And, they're coward ass bitches. So they all run together in a crowd. And you gotta question it, pile number 3. I heard this the other day. You gotta question it when 3 or 4 people need to gang up on you and form like some kind of tribunal against you just in order to be in a room around you. And it's like, intimidated much, little bitches much, like, I don't know, like some people can actually stand on their own and rise from the phoenix and rise like the phoenix, like the ashes from the phoenix, rise from the ashes like the phoenix. Like some people can just go on building their life because they're strong people. And, these other people are truly the archetype of strength reversed. And I feel like you're the one that's showing strength in this situation, okay? And I think non-reaction, moving away from it, limiting their access to you, okay, and letting them like devour each other from the internal perspective. Because I feel like when you step away from it, whether it's these friends or this family or whoever it is, when you step away from this, pile number 3, their dynamics are so toxic and sick with one another, they devour each other and they just make each other miserable. The difference is that you don't need to be in that equation, okay? So I feel like I feel like you're doing really well, pile number 3, and I just feel like you don't need these people in your life who constantly try to pull you down to their pathetic level, because it's not happening. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever, okay? And I'm telling them all, pile number 3 for you, okay? We have Sagittarius here and IC. It's very interesting. We have card 20 and 21. We also have card 43. Okay, but this Sagittarius, okay, so we could have some Sagittarians here in this pile. We could also have Capricorns. I mentioned Virgo, Mercury in Virgo, or Virgos earlier too. Okay, we could have earth signs with the turtle, but Sagittarius is here too, okay? And, there could be a Sagittarius giving you guys trouble as well, somebody in your family. But anyway, some of you may have Sag in your chart, but I love Sagittarius energy because it's like, let me explore what's out there for myself. I could be busy like going on a trip. I could be busy reading a book. I could be busy going back to school. I could be busy like planning my next trip. I could be busy like, expanding myself and, reading and learning about philosophy. I could be getting to know new people and putting myself out there. Like, why would I hang out in a situation that is disturbingly unproductive for me, gives, if you're saying this situation gives me a lot of anxiety and discomfort, I could be almost anywhere else. I feel like you're not that picky, pile number 3. It's like, I feel you guys can get along with a lot of people in a lot of situations. I feel you're very open-minded. And, Sagittarius is that, at least the positive side of Sagittarius is a very open-minded, free-spirited, open-minded type of a human being. And, I feel like that's you guys, whether you're a Sagittarius or not, but I just feel you guys are like very open, freedom loving, live and let live. You may even be a bit of a hippie, a bit of a flower child, or a bit of a fairy, or, whatever it is that you are. But I feel you're just a very much, you're a live and let live type of an energy, and you like to explore and you like to try new things. And the turtle definitely loves to explore and swim all over the ocean and go to different places, and just likes to take its time exploring the world and building new things. And I just feel you're a really balanced energy of exploration, fire and passion, and true dedication, pile number 3, okay? Essentially, the strength card is what I wrote on this pink card here. I feel like you're just the all of that combined. And you had some people in your life that literally brought out the worst qualities, or brought out the most difficult qualities that you've had to deal with in yourself. And we all have bad qualities within ourselves. I feel like you're a very good person, though, pile number 3. I feel like you guys are like the realest of the real, because you've seen some shit, you've seen some scenarios, you're an old soul, you've been there, done that, okay? But it's like, why would I like stick around in a situation and put up with this shit? Why don't I just go and do something else? And that whole energy with the turtle here, like I said, about just swimming away or just going away, and with Sagittarius, like just going and doing your own thing. And it's like, yeah, I don't really, like, I got other plans, And I think that's what you need to focus on right now, is the plans. And some people might not agree with your vision or your goals or the things that you're working on, and they may have weird things to say about it. But like I said, I would just be careful with who you talk to about your plans, because I feel like some people have really big mouths and are very negative. And I don't really want that for you, pile number 3, because I feel like you're on a very good track. And I personally don't want people around you who are like, who are like hurting you who are hurting you in a way that's very familiar and very destructive. Like, I really don't want that for you. I'm sure you don't want that for you either. And I think a lot of you in this pile may have already made the decision, like, yeah, I'm moving away. And some of you may want to move away from your family of origin. You may want to move to a different country. You may want to move to a completely different place. You just may want to get the hell out of there. You just may want to get the hell out of Dodge. And I don't blame you, pile number 3. And I think it's the healthiest thing you can do. And some people are like, oh, you're running, or you're running away again, or whatever. And it's like, no, I'm exploring the world and living my truth. Back the fuck up, And I think that's exactly what you're doing. And I think as time goes on, if people are saying things to you with this Sagittarius here, I feel you guys are going to get real forward and blunt about like calling things out, because Sagittarians have a reputation for being kind of blunt in their speech. So you may actually, like, instead of just like being in anxiety or being in discomfort in the future, you may just bluntly point out what that person's doing, and just, and crush their little hopes of trying to demean you, because sorry, it isn't happening today, okay? So pile number 2, I just want to have a moment of appreciation for you. You're doing great, my loves. Keep plugging away. Keep pushing on your goals. Keep building on your dreams. You're doing great, okay? So thank you so much, everybody who came to your reading today, and I hope you all have a blessed day. Take care.